Hello, hello. Welcome to the channel. I appreciate you stopping by. I think today is just going to be like a little catch-up session. It is actually Saturday the 30th. I have not done anything in here basically all week. I still have part of last week to catch up on. So let's just talk about how the last week and a half has gone. It's been a doozy, and I think I have, oh, my pen's right there. I think I have everything I need. So this particular kit was from Korsh's Creations. I don't know if they are still open. I had actually shopped this in my stash, so I've had it probably for a while. Okay, let's see. Friday was mostly travel day after work, actually. So I wrote that backwards. Laptop pack. Okay. What does that mean? Oh, I stopped at Dutch and got really yummy coffee. Let's use a pretty flower. I think they were doing a sticker drop. I think that's what I stopped there for Dutch. It could have just been a Friday. Usually Friday I stop for coffee. You know, it is what it is. Let's see what else happened. So after work, I actually got off work a little earlier than expected, which was nice because Monmouth is about a 6.5 hour nonstop drive. So when you do stop, it adds some time. It took us a bit to get there. We didn't get there until kind of late, but that's okay. It was still nice. I think we left like at 2:10. And we didn't get there until probably almost 10, I think, which, you know, whatever. It is what it is. It didn't rain, but that's okay. We're going to use this as a, let's go over here. So where did we stop? Oh, we stopped in the Tri-Cities. We stopped at DQ for dinner because whenever we stop at Dairy Queen, I typically get the chicken that is in barbecue sauce, so I, have to eat it with a fork. But, whatever. Luckily, I didn't drop anything in the car, so that was great. But we also stopped at Dutch Bros and got some lemonades, which I later regretted because my tummy was not very happy with me. I can only have so much sugar, and it definitely let me know that I had too much. So while I don't forget Dairy Queen here, that's what we had for dinner. I definitely didn't do any walking on Friday. This was the farmer's market, which was really, really fun. And I don't consider Sunday I did a whole lot of walking. Okay. Dutch Brothers. Then we stopped in Biggs for fuel and a potty break. And then we got there. We switched drivers. I had driven from Spokane to Biggs, and then Tom took over. And I'm going to say we got there at 10 p.m. It was a long day, a very long day, but that's okay. I love when I actually get there, everything is right in the world. And, I love seeing Sue. Heather was there. The doggies were there. It was just like kind of coming home in a way. Saturday, let me see. Duke stopped by with Taz. So Duke is a friend of the family, and he's kind of a sweetheart. And then Taz is this little tiny floof ball. She is such a cutie. She lets me put her in air jail. Actually, she didn't really let me. I had to put her in air jail because she kept eating the grass. And Duke kept, not replace. Oh my gosh. He returned. I don't have any whiteout with me. So, bloop. The tractor he borrowed the last time we were there. So we helped Duke offload the tractor, and I got to play with Taz, and it was great. Everything was wonderful in the world. And then we went to 3 count them, 3 farmers markets. It was so much fun. I was so very exhausted after the fact. It was wow. We're just going to put this like this as just a little separator. So the 2 were kind of local to where mother-in-law lives. And they're kind of a little bit on the tiny side, but these are very, very tiny towns. So it doesn't surprise me that they were kind of tiny. So at the first one, we first walk up, and Sue is definitely a instigator when it comes to purchasing things. They had these like cover-ups that were really, really cute, but they weren't quite my color palette. Well, they really were my color palette, but I'd be kind of limited with what I could wear with. So she kept trying to talk me into purchasing them. I almost did, but no, I stuck to my guns and I didn't do it. But then we went to a little booth that had pastries, and they were giving out samples of cinnamon rolls. Oh my goodness gracious. The one I tasted had cream cheese frosting, which is my absolute favorite. Of course, I had to purchase. Sue had tried like a tiramisu. She loved it. So I got one for Tom and I to split, and then we got one for Sue. I never did get to sample either one. I totally forgot about it. We got back to the house later, and they were just kind of forgotten for the weekend. Sue and Heather did eat hers, and Tom later, ate ours. But when I got back on Tuesday, I'm like, oh man, I never ate that. But that's okay. They enjoyed it, so that's all that's mattered. So I'm going to put buns here. And Sue loves earrings. So she found a new pair of earrings, and they are in the shape of wings, and they have kind of gold throughout them. They are absolutely stunning. I'm really glad that she bought them for herself. And then she met a house cleaner. So Sue's house is not dirty. It just needs a, like a good deep clean. Like my house needs a good deep clean. So she got some information from this cleaner, and they're coming out Sunday. So they did come out Sunday. They gave her an estimate to do like a deep clean. I wish I was there to see it. But it didn't happen until after I had left, the deep clean. Sue was very happy with the estimate, and they're going to do their, deep clean. And after talking to Tom, Sue is so very happy with their work, and she just feels better, which is fantastic. So that was at the first one. And then the second one, we had met this older gentleman who makes swim bags. Well, not even just swim bags. He makes a lot of different bags. So he'll take like jeans and turn them into purses or backpacks. Oh my gosh, I almost came home with like 4 different purses, and I don't even really carry around purses. They were just amazing. But the gentleman, the swim bags, Sue has a bunch of mesh that he can potentially use to make his swim bags, because they're like, he doesn't need large quantities of it, and the pieces that Sue have are big enough for kind of what he needs. So they might do a trade, like a little bargain. He makes her a swim bag to her specifications, and then he gets the mesh that he can use for other bags. So it could be a good win-win. And then I wish I had them with me, but I know that they're in the car. 3D printed little tiny critters. So they're only like this big. One is a skeleton. One's a otter that's laying on his back. I think I got the duck. I got 3 of them. I think those are the ones that I got. Originally, I was going to give the skeleton to Jade, but I think I might keep it now. We'll see if he steals it or not. But that was really fun. So that was the first one. This was the second one. And these were both local. They were kind of close to each other. And then the third one was huge. It was gargantuan. I did pick up a bread knife, which is, I've been looking for one, but not really, like, I didn't want to spend the money on it, because like the ones I find online, they look like they're, you know, they're just okay. But we met this gentleman who made them himself. Absolutely amazing. Love, love, love. I think it cost me $20. I haven't used it yet, but I just love the way it looks. So that was a great purchase. Tom was nice enough to carry it around the entire rest of the day for me, because that was like, we walked in and it was almost like the third booth that I saw, and I just had to have it. I didn't want to say, oh, I'll just come back, because I would have forgotten, because by the time we got done at the end, I was exhausted. Like, wow, I was so tired. And I got to pet so many dogs. I think that was one of the highlights of my day, is how many dogs I was able to pet, because they were just all so friendly. One of them was actually, I don't know what her booth was, because I was just so enthralled with this dog, but she had the dog up on a table, and she was just encouraging people to come up and give him love. And it was almost at the end of the day for this one. I was exhausted, but to say that it just upped my spirits is an understatement. I loved it. But after the end of this, I was so very tired. And then we went back to the, we went back to the farm, and we dropped off Sue, and I think we went to, we went to go get soil, because Sue wanted some new soil for some of her planters. So we went and got soil. And we stopped at Dairy Queen for lunch, because by that time it's almost like 2 in the afternoon and we hadn't eaten yet, which is unheard of for me, but it's all good. And then Jeff, who is Tom's brother, and his little doggy Harley came by. Harley is a little wiener dog that goes everywhere with Jeff, and I mean everywhere. You see Jeff, Harley is somewhere nearby, or he's in his hoodie, like everywhere. We did not get to bed until 10 p.m. on this evening, because Jeff came over with his an excavator that he borrowed so that he could do a bunch of work. So Sue, Tom's mom, lives on a farm, and it's a lot of property to take care of. Oh yeah, we mowed the lawn. Oh my gosh, how did I forget we mowed the lawn? Because it's a big lawn, and it probably took us an hour. Luckily, there's 2 riding lawnmowers, so I kind of took one section of the property. Tom kind of took another one. It's a really big lawn. Oh my gosh, this is the first time that I've done almost all of it by myself. And to say I was tired even after this, and I'm sitting, but like my arms are tired because it's a 0 turn. And you know, you're controlling it with your arms and stuff. Oh my gosh, but it was fun. But Jeff and Harley came over. They did a bunch of digging up. They made a fantastic walkway for Sue around these planted raised garden beds, and the ground was really uneven. So what Jeff did, he came through and he dug up a bunch of dirt in the grass, and then they had some old gravel that was just in this big huge pile that he then took and replaced it and then flattened it all out. And it is so nice to walk on. It looks so great. Sue loves it. And to watch Jeff maneuver this big old piece of machinery is wow. And then he went over, so the basement had been kind of flooding, and they figured out what it was, is one of the drains in the field was plugged. So they kind of determined where it was, and they dug this big huge hole, and the pipe is about this big, and it was completely full of dirt. So no wonder the house was kind of flooding in the basement, because it had nowhere to go. So they dug that up, they replaced it, and then we ended up moving trees as well. So in the garden beds, Sue and her late husband had planted some trees, and they had meant to move them out kind of into the field, around the field. They never got to it. So Jeff and Tom, they dug them up and they moved them over to where Sue wanted them, but that took a while. So pipe and trees. So this was a really late night, and then this day we were meeting Jeff at their sister's house to deal with her house. Now, Heather's house is completely overrun with blackberries. I don't know if you're familiar with blackberries, but when they start to grow, they grow and they spread if you don't, you know, take care of them and prune them. We couldn't get into the backyard. We could barely get to the front door because it had overrun the driveway as well. The entire front lawn. At one point, Tom got up on the roof and you couldn't see the backyard. It was, you know, over encroaching the roof, and you could not see where the yard began and the blackberries stopped. It was cuckoo cuckoo. But these two amazing brothers did a kick-butt job in cleaning up the front yard. And how Jeff got in between the fence and the house with this excavator, I like to say escalator, so I'm trying not to do that, is amazing to me, because there was like this much room in between the fence and the track and the house. Like, wow. And then to watch him take the grapple and just like pull the blackberries, it created probably 2 industrial sized dump trucks load of waste that they took care of. Part of it we couldn't get out of the backyard because you can't get that piece of machinery back and forth that many times without potentially hurting something, so they didn't do that. Although later this week Tom took care of some of that, but we spent a good portion of our day at Heather's house with the blackberries, and it looks so much better. Now we just have to figure out how to kill them all, because it's too much. Like, it is entirely too much. But we did that for the bulk of the day, and let's see, what else did we do? Oh, we met back at the farm later, and then some of Tom's cousins came over, who I had met 2 of them, but not the husband. They were fantastic. Just sitting and listening to their family is awesome. And then we went out to dinner, and the husband, Ned, we're just all sitting around and we're having a good time, and, you know, we're just chit-chatting, and my dinner the salad came with onions on it, and I don't do onions, so I gave it to Tom. And the daughter and I were across, you know, from each other, Haley, and, you know, we started talking about onions and how, yeah, it's fine, I'm just not going to kiss Tom until after he brushes his teeth. Now, this is the same family that Tom went to Florida with for a memorial. And Ned, he kind of nudges my thigh a little bit, and he goes, yeah, don't worry, I don't kiss him until after he's brushed his teeth too. I cracked up so bad. Oh my God, it was so flippin' hilarious. And I think he might have been looking for a reaction, but I'm not that kind of girl. So I just looked at him and go, you know what, Ned, what happens in Florida stays in Florida, okay? This is a no judgment zone. And we just had a good visit. Then we went back to the farm, and Haley is going to be watching Heather's dogs. Actually, I'm going to give this one sunglasses because she was so cool. We went back to the farm, and Heather was just basically walking Haley through what she'll need to do while she's watching the dogs, because Heather will be going in for some surgery next week. So not there. On the 2nd, she'll be in for surgery, so her and Sue will be gone for part of a week, and obviously dogs can't stay by themselves for that long, and Tom and I are a little too far away, so Haley's gonna come by and watch the dogs, which is fantastic. Let me see, what else did we do? Yeah, I think that was all for Sunday. We, between here and here, Tom and I did take showers because we were disgusting. These were 2 really long days. Like, we went to bed late, we got up early because we were meeting Jeff super early, and then we stayed up late. Oh my gosh, I'm just tired of thinking about it. Okay, so let's fill in. What did we do Saturday for dinner? Oh, these were hamburger steaks. Basically, it's just, instead of making it a burger, you're just eating the hamburger in a patty, and we had fruit and salad and everything was great. This was, oh, I had coconut shrimp. I don't remember what Tom had, but that's what I had. We're going to put that there so it doesn't, this pin is kind of juicy and it likes to carry over. So Monday, oh gosh, I was up really early on Monday because I could not sleep. The bed that is at Sue's house for us is actually one of my old beds that is brand new, but I never really used it. I'm trying to figure out what I want to use here. I probably will not use those. Wait, hold on. That's not what I was going for. I was going for one of these. Let's go for this one. So I was up kind of early, and I made myself coffee, and I sat out on the porch, kind of froze my booty off, and just listened to the birds and life, and just played on my phone for a while. And then Tom came up and Sue came out and she let me borrow Ed's coat, which I greatly, how do you spell borrowed? Not bro. Oh my gosh, Karen. We're just going to do this. Oh my gosh. Ed's coat didn't exactly fit because I'm a pretty big gal, but it did cover up the top part of me, which was great. And then I was warm and life was beautiful again. So let's see, we sat out there for quite a while, and then we finally decided that we were going to head back over to Heather's house because we couldn't remember if Jeff was able to get to one part of the side of the house. So we wanted to investigate, but in the meantime, we decided to go to lunch. And we picked this place that was new to us called the Easy Otter. It was phenomenal. Oh my gosh, it was so good. It was Southern style food. For me, can be a little, because I'm kind of a spice wimp, but this, oh my God, so very good. So we went there and we split a couple things, and I was a very, very happy person. So we went back to Heather's house, and we did see that Jeff wasn't able to get to one side of the house. And then we were like contemplating, how do we get all of this debris out of the backyard? And we're like, we're going to have to rent something to like shred it up. But then how do we get it to the front of the house? Because, you know, it's blah, blah, blah. So we spent some time there, you know, doing some additional cleanup and just kind of chilling. And then we went to Lowe's, and earlier in the day, Sue and I were talking, and she was like, yeah, I really need to get a hose reel so that I stop, you know, dragging the hose all over heck and back. So we stopped at Lowe's and we got Sue a hose reel, because I don't want her to drag stuff back and forth either. So we're just going to make it easy for her. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. And then we kind of just chilled around the farm for a little bit, kind of took it easy because the, you know, previous couple days were kind of harsh. But then we had a great visit from Josie and Jeff. I had not seen Josie in quite a while. Josie is Tom's niece, and it was great to see her. I loved it. We're gonna cover part of Saturday here or Sunday, because I didn't walk, kind of. So that was a lovely visit. And then after that, Tom and I went and got Papa Murphy's. We had dinner, and then, you know, we chilled up for the rest of the day. This was a travel day for me. Tom, I was trying to be quiet to not wake him up, but he did get up, and him and Sue saw me off, which was great. I got a Sue hug. And then off I went. So I stopped first for fuel because there was no way I was making it to Biggs on the amount of fuel I had. And then obviously I had to stop at Dutch Brothers. The fuel station and Dutch Brothers share a parking lot, so, you know, two birds, one stone. So that was in Salem. And then I drove to Biggs. That was the last time that I stopped. And that was really more for a potty break. I did get some chicken for lunch. Then I drove home. Well, I stopped in Ritzville for fuel and a snack. And then I drove home. Let me see. Luckily nothing happened on the drive. It was really, really just easy and just chill, which I appreciated because I was exhausted. Oh my gosh, I was so tired. But then I came home. Oh wait, there's a little laundry thing here. Let's use the laundry one. I started laundry right away because I just wanted it kind of done and over with. So I did laundry. And then I played in the Empire for a bit because that just seems to relax me. Oh, I actually did a grocery pickup first before I even came home after this trip. I did a grocery pickup because I did not want to go shopping. So I had placed the order the previous night and then picked it up right when I got back to Spokane, and then just came home and kind of called it a day there. Let's see. I did talk to Tom. Everything was great. Wednesday. What happened Wednesday? Oh, Jade and I went to dinner, which was so awesome. I was still so very tired. So very tired. But Jade the previous night had said, hey, do we have dinner plans for Wednesday? And I'm like, well, I was thinking of chicken tacos, but you know, what are you thinking? He's like, well, there is a pizza place that I've discovered. So he had gone camping with some friends, and near this campsite is a restaurant that does pizza flights. So you've heard of beer flights or wine flights. This was a pizza flight. You get to choose 3 pizzas. They're about this big. You can't change the toppings on, you know, what they are, but luckily they had really good choices. So we got 3 pizzas and some beer cheese bread. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the 3 pizzas in total was either $24 or $27. Okay, done. Yes, I'll pay that. No problem. Because Jade and I were able to split one of those pizzas with the cheese bread, and then we still each had a pizza apiece for lunch the next day. Like, no brainer. Am I going to go there again? Heck yes, I am, because it was delicious. It was so good. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, yummy. Oh, okay. I need to write down the stalker. So the company that I work for, it is a very large company, and we deliver kind of all over. So I had never seen them at Sue's place before. In her area, I had, oh no, stop them. I'm betting 1,000 to me today. I had never seen one of our trucks in Sue's area. Now, I had seen our product in Sue's area, but never one of our trucks. So I get this text message from Tom that is a picture of our truck taken from the farm, you know, and they're on the street, obviously. And he says, stop stalking me, LOL. Oh my gosh, how funny is that? One of our trucks passing by and I'm not even there. So I go, oh, good, they found you. And we laughed about it for a while. So that was hilarious. Pizza night. I did have to deal with a work issue on the way home, which carried on to the rest of the week, but that is fine. Thursday. Oh gosh. Thursday. Thursday I got some news that I'm still trying to process. I'm not going to talk a lot about it because I'm still kind of in limbo with what is going to happen. But I am not feeling really awesome about the news. I don't even know how to. You know what? This actually describes it really well. We are going to put that there because I'm sad. I'm sad. There's a huge unknown with what is going to be happening in my world, and I don't having problems processing it. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. So work is in limbo, and I came home and I was just sad and just kind of over it. And poor Jade, you know, Tom's not here to help diffuse the situation. So, and I haven't told Jade, you know, anything of what's going on because I don't want to burden him with the. Anyway, so Jade and I just kind of went our separate ways for the evening, which was fine. I'm sitting in the living room and it is storming like a mofo outside at that point. Like, it was holy majoli. It was bad. A huge, huge wind, lots and lots of rain. Like, wow. So I'm sitting there and I do have the front door open. Screen door's locked though, but I'm just, you know, sitting there chilling and I'm listening to the wind and the rain. And one of the neighbors comes by and he's like, "Hey, Karen, your canopy out back is about to blow away." I'm like, "Oh my God, no. This canopy is 10 by 20. It's pretty big." Like, yeah. So I go out there, sure enough, like, it's trying to lift itself up. Now, we do have it secured on the ground with cinder blocks and, you know, it's tied down, but you can see the metal, like, bending and that kind of thing. And I'm like, uh-oh, this is not good. So I go back in the house, knock on Jade's door. He's chilling, talking to his dad. And I'm like, "Hey, I need you outside right now. Our canopy is about to, you know, have issues." So he's like, "Hey, Dad, I got to let you go." He hangs up on his dad, which is never good because our family, we panic. Not panic, but we're like, "Whoa, what's going on?" So he comes outside and I'm already drenched because, like, torrential downpour. And I'm like, "Hey, help me lower the legs so it, you know, is not as much wind coming up. And then we're just going to take the canopy itself off because of how Tom has the legs secured. I can't, like, put it away. So because it's one of the canopies that you can, like, put up and then take down at your whim, but we have it secured enough to the ground so that hopefully we don't have to do that. Well, we kind of had to we had to at least take the canopy off. So we did get the top of it off. Luckily, nothing ripped. We were able to store it, you know, the canopy itself in the garage. And then we thought, uh-oh, what about Jade's motorcycle? So we were smart and we took Jade's motorcycle and put it in the garage as well. Luckily, Tom had just kind of cleaned the garage and we were able to put Wilma, that's what he named her, Wilma, in the garage for safekeeping because we were really afraid that the wind was going to tip her over. And obviously we don't want that to happen. That would be bad. Okay, Friday, we're almost done. I think this video is probably like 30-40 minutes long by now. I apologize, but I'm just kind of having fun catching everybody up. So Friday, you know what? Friday I didn't stop for coffee, which is really weird. I made coffee at home, so I don't need to mark that. Honestly, Friday, because of this, I was still kind of out of sorts. And it just, oh gosh, we didn't really do a lot. We chilled. So I think I'm literally just going to put that in there. Well, okay, I did make a bank run. So let's do this. For my savings channel, I needed some smaller bills. Bank Run. Oh, I did actually then stop at Dutch as I was talking to Tom. Dutch Run. And then I stopped at the post office to mail the 2 Sisterhood of the Traveling Journal. Sisterhood of the Traveling Journal mailed off. I had only had them for a couple days, and they're supposed to be mailed out, well, today, technically the 30th. I knew I wasn't going to make it to the post office today, so I mailed them yesterday. I busted my butt on this day. I didn't put it in here because I was kind of, but got it done. Wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am. And then, let's see. Jade went and helped his dad. Jade, help. I call my brother Brat. So Jade helped Brat. And then we just, I did a bunch of Empire stuff way until the evening. Empire stuff. And that brings us to today, where I have filmed a lot of videos. In fact, I think I've been filming for a couple hours now. So I think after this one, I am going to go take a little breaky break. I should probably get some breakfast, as it is 10:14 in the morning and I still haven't finished my coffee. But I do have to come in. I have to come in and I have to set this up. Oh my gosh, it is the 1st of June on Monday. How crazy is that? I still have to come in and set up my June monthly. What is this for? Oh yeah, some reminders of what I've got coming up. So, after my break, I'll probably come in and I will film this one to get that set up because I am drastically behind there. And I'll film this one. But my friends, I really appreciate you sticking around. If you're still here, would you drop me like a bear emoji? It'd be interesting to see who stuck with me this long to listen to my ramblings. Oh my gosh. But just know that I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you're having a great, great day. I am going to post this today, so I hope you're having a great Saturday. I hope you get to relax and chill out. Or if you need to get a bunch of stuff done this weekend like I do, I hope you're able to find the time to get it done but not make it too exhausting. So with that, my friends, I appreciate you. If you would please give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment down below, leave me that bear emoji, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.